Hi, everyone. It's me. Surprise. I'm alone. um, I know you're all here to listen to my live interview with Stephen Weber, but he had to reschedule. So that live interview is going to happen at 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern. So tune in for that. And in the meantime, why don't we do a question and answer? Let me just move over here to comments to see. I talk a lot about numerology and trying to understand what our lessons are. And once you get the idea that you have a handle on it, your year can go so well. But let me give you some examples of years that are not going so well. And that's with hi, Cynthia Smith. It's good to see you. Thanks a lot. So the interview has been postponed just for people who just getting here. Hi, Dee. Happy Sunday. Thanks for showing up. You're wonderful. Hi, Fleck. Thank you so much. My interview is going to be switched to 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern with Stephen Weber. It's a really neat story. He wrote a book about dying and coming back and changing his life. He was like this rough motorcycle person and didn't believe in much. And now he's like, he's really believing in a lot. Hi, Bridget. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. So I decided to do a Q&A, question and answer. I want to tell you more about numerology and some of the political things that are happening these days. I heard a rumor that CNN's Caitlin Collins might not have her show go through. She was supposed to have a brand new show. Hi, Miss Annie. And I couldn't confirm that, but I did her numbers anyway. And it doesn't look like by the numbers she would have a problem with her new show not going through. So let me do some readings here for you. I'm going to start with some cool personal years. Remember, you find out what your personal year is by adding your month and your day, and then add 7, because 2023, the year we're in, ends up to be 7. So that's how you find out your personal year, unless you're born on January 1st. You should come up with a double-digit number. You add the 2 double-digit numbers, and then you'll have a single digit. And then you'll know what lessons and blessings this year is going to set up for you. Oh, so we have a question about numerology. How do you add up your numbers? 2 ways. So I'm going to show this. There's 2 ways, just adding everything up to a 4-digit number and then add that up or reduce. There are different ways to do it. People have different angles. How I do it, if you wanted to follow me, is basically add the month, the day, but each individual number. That's how I do it. So there are some people who add up the 4-digit numbers, the year you were born, and then add that. You'll get the same number. You'll have a different double-digit number. Did I confuse you? So there is a 29/11, and there's a 38/11. So the two numbers prior to the number you have for your life path number, those are your life lessons. So that's the only thing that works out. So single digits before adding. Yeah, that's what I do. So I was born in January 25th, so I'd add 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9, then the year I was born. Oh, Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. They give you two different numbers. Tell me that combination if you might. I won't show in the live, but of course it has to have two different numbers. Are you doing, Jonathan, are you doing the personal year or your life path number? Once you get the math out of the way, there's some calculators online. You can do your name calculator and you can do your birth date calculator. Now, the only difference is that you might be running into, let me make sure. That you might be running into is that there's a Chaldean way of interpreting the numbers and a Pythagorean. I do the Pythagorean because the Chaldean way doesn't recognize the number 9 and doesn't recognize master numbers. So, okay, we have life path 6, personal year 4. And so your life path 6 means that you are really, really good. You have a superpower in law, order, karma, beauty, evenness, judgment. You would be an incredible home decorator and mediator all at the same time. A 4 personal year is, good. Jonathan has then, I'll get you, Jonathan. But let me tell you about the 4 personal year. Anybody who has a 4 personal year, just expect the year to be kind of all work with no, I'm not saying no play, but I am saying that whatever work you put into something, you're not going to see the reward this year. It's going to be more at the end of the year and next year. So when you go into a 5 personal year, it's like the floodgates of synchronicity open. So everything you've prepared this year is going to benefit and prosper next year, that type of thing. Let me get back to Jonathan. This is a perfect example of the 2 personal year. So when you go to 11/2, 11 is a master number. If you go to 20/2, that's the Chaldean method of adding your numbers up. So it's just like 2 different calculators. So 20/2 is Chaldean. 11/2 is Pythagorean. So if your numbers for your life path numbers, if they come up to a double digit, that is 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, that's a different category and a different topic. And so I like the richness of the Pythagorean theories. So I stick with that because a 2 personal year with 20 in front of it won't have you on the bigger stage. And I know you, Jonathan. Jonathan Daly has his own show on YouTube. And if you lived by the 20, if you came to me when you were like 18 and you said, and I'd use the Chaldean method, and I saw that you were a 20/2, I would counsel you as if you were going to do collaborations, small collaborations, one-on-one. This would be counseling. You'd be a master of relationships. So the 11/2 is still a master of relationships, but the 11 tells me that you're going to have a bigger audience than just one-on-one. You see how that goes? I have found that the master numbers Pythagorean theory just says so much more. Now, if you thought your life was best lived just in a small stage, of course, doesn't matter what anybody tells you, your life will insist you go in the direction you're supposed to. It's just that if you were aware that you're going to have a bigger audience than just one-on-one, then you can focus on that and manifest it quicker. That's how you do it. So yes, I'm so glad that you spoke up about the two different numbers. I hope I've confused you enough. I know it's complicated, but you know what I'm thinking about doing? I don't know. I could get your oh, you're a Jonathan, are you a 3811 now instead of a 2911 or 11-2? Yeah, 3811 tells me that's Pythagorean. That means that 3 is your what you came to the planet to learn, and that is to lighten up. Be carefree. Don't go diving into the minutia of things. Stay casual, right? Because the 8 is all bringing in a tangible way, and there's a certain pressure for that. And so those are your lessons. Stay carefree, and you will manifest quickly. And the 11 tells me you will manifest for the masses. Does that make sense? So what I was thinking about doing is maybe starting like a small Patreon thing. So people who want to learn numerology, we could get together like on a Zoom so we can talk back and forth. I think that would be good. And then those of you that want to learn the tarot, we could do that, but it's more one-on-one. I'm going to go up here, Mary Greer way. Oh, the Mary Greer. So Jonathan, I'm going to keep you up. So 20/2, the Mary Greer way, and the Deborah way. Yes. Well, it's just 20/2, Mary Greer and Chaldean. And I'm more Pythagorean, but thank you. My name in lights. Thank you, Jonathan. You're the greatest. Okay, Cynthia, let me see you. 1 + 1 + 7. So 1 + 6 is 7 personal year. Oh, the 7s. Oh my God. So everyone's sitting down. I collected. So your 7 personal year. Let me get this one out of the way. Sorry, I get carried away. Cynthia, this year is all about lining up with your spiritual ethics, morals, all of that stuff, and walk your talk. If you're aligned in one way and you try to have a happy face another way so someone will accept you, that'll bite you this year bad. So life is asking you to walk your talk. Say yes when you mean yes. Say no when you mean no. And just throw caution to the wind and try it, because the wind is at your back on that. So that's the blessing and the lesson of a 7 personal year. But let me tell you about the 7 life path numbers. So I was, I collected 100 serial killers' birthdays. I know that's so weird. So weird. And 100 Nobel Peace Prize recipients and 100 Nobel laureates. So all of that. And I calculated all their numbers. I mean, I spent a few days with my phone calculator, making sure I'm all double checking to make sure what I was seeing is true. And there's a 30% more from the, this is just from the 100 I did. This is just it wasn't a big cache of names, but you're 30% more likely to be a serial killer if you're a 7. Now this is oh my gosh, I've got to get my banner up here that says that this is for entertainment purposes only. I don't want but it was just a fun thing, a folly that I went in and got involved in. And then the same was for the Nobel Peace Prize winners. I kid you not. It's so bizarre. So when you're talking about a 7 personal year, I have discovered something. A 7 life path number. 7 personal year, that's different. That's what I told Cynthia. But a 7 life path, if your life will be easy, much easier If you concentrate on the finite, in other words, math, science, theories with hard edges, that type of thing, engineering, those rules of construction, that's that. Or if you wanted to go into metaphysics because you're very, very intuitive, then what you would do is go into the higher octaves and you'd be more priest or guru or something like that. You'd go like you go straight to the front of the class. And then but those are hard edges because there's rules and regulations for both of those. If you try and be like study human nature, and human nature has those soft edges, people do a bunch of things that you don't expect. And 7 life path numbers want to hammer down and predict people's next moves because of what they did in the past, that type of thing, instead of using their intuition. So this is where the problem begins. But if let's say a 7 life path person wants to get into social sciences and understanding human nature, then it's best that you go into like psychiatrists versus psychologists, that type of thing, where you're the numbers person, you're smartest one in the room. Sorry, 7 life path people, smartest ones in the room. Cynthia, your life path is 11. Yes, you are, sister of 11s. Just last night, I was working and I had a client that was a 44 life path number. Now you think all these master numbers, oh, they must have it good. No, a lot of times you have it worse. Cynthia, your life has not been a bed of roses because there's with the now a lot of people feel like they're under pressure that they need to find out what their purpose is and do it right now. The double digit numbers or the master numbers, they have it a little tougher because they were given an opportunity to be bigger. And so the pressure is a little tougher. Now the 44, so it's the 11 is the intuitive. The 22 is the master builder. 33 is that master creative, beauty, harmony. But these are all for the masses. 11s is for the masses. 22, you're building for a lot of people if you're 22, a lot of people if you're 33. I've got 33s around here. And then 44 is a master manifester. Now, I just saw someone up here who said they had a life path 8. I started talking and not looking. So those of you with a life, oh, there, yours is a Fleck. Now, so yours is it a life path 8 or is it a personal year 8? They both sort of mean the same thing, but a 44 is like times 10. So the good part about being an 8 or a 44, which is 8, is that you can manifest mad fast. The bad part is that you can manifest mad fast. It's like if you read the Tarot, that's the Chariot right there, because the Chariot has 2 horses, one white, one black, and they're sort of pointing in different directions. Well, your Chariot can't go anywhere, right? Well, you have to get both horses together and focused. Now, the downside of an 8 personal year is that you'll have an impulse to risk job, risk money, risk tangibles. This is the year you buy a house and risk your nest egg because you have to give it up for the down payment, that type of thing. I'm not saying it's bad risk at all. I'm saying it's just notice that you might feel like you would want to. You might feel like you would want to spend more because you feel prosperous. So that's it. Oh, hi, Dawn. Let me just get Dawn up here. Small tide. I almost died when I was turning 5. Oh, wow. Miami. You're going to be really interested in what he has to say now. Stephen Miller is coming on at 1 Pacific, and he didn't die drowning, but he did die in other ways, which he'll explain. Let's see. I'm going to come back to you, Jonathan, because you're like my co-host now. Do you also look at numerology of the person's name, or just no, the name too? Now, when I do soul realignment, there's a service I provide called Soul Awareness and Realignment. And with that, I do the whole thing. I do the full name at birth, the casual name that you're using now, and your business name if you have it. I just do everything. I even do the latitude and longitude of the city that you're born in. I ask for the date of birth and where you were born, not because I do astrology, but because I do numerology, and I just get the flavor of the numbers. Sometimes when people come in for a psychic reading or a soul realignment, or they feel that they're just an alien on this earth, which most people are, but that's a different show. A lot of times it's just understanding what your numbers are saying. Half the battle is understanding the numbers and what life is trying to tell you through the numbers. But no bed of roses here. Sister 11. Yeah, no bed of roses. Life path. Deborah Thornton. Here we are, life path 8 and personal year 4. 650. Okay. Personal year 4, it's all work with little pay. But with an 8 life path, an 8 life path, what you create and manifest, you value. So your home, your children, your grandchildren, your pets, your items, all of that it fills you up. So a 4, and you were born in 55. So when you look at us older people, these personal years don't smack us around as much, unless you're Trump and Clarence Thomas, and they're getting smacked around because they didn't pay attention. This self-awareness, that's a word we throw around. All we need is a little self-awareness, and life is so much easier. So good to see you, Deborah. Thank you so much. And so Fleck is a 5. I'm assuming that is a 5 personal year. Oh, Deborah Thornton, you almost drowned too. That's interesting. So your personal, Jonathan, your personal year is 3. That's creativity. So if anyone has a 3 personal year, this is the year where all of a sudden you're going to be downloaded all this creative energy, not just to start a project, but to follow it through to the end. And so ride that wave, Jonathan, because what you create this year, next year, you're going to package it, make it real, like bring it out of the air and make it sit on the table. So that's really, really good. Fleck, if you have a life, your life path is 5, you are the same as Caitlin Collins, because I just did hers. I did a lot of the famous people that are on TV, and Caitlin Collins from CNN was there, all the journalists and stuff. A lot of them were 5s. And I start out explaining what 5s are, is that you're more comfortable in front of the camera than behind it. I hope you have a YouTube channel because talk about quick wit, that's a 5. That doesn't mean nobody else has a quick wit. It's just that it comes more natural for you. And sarcasm, thank you, 5s. That's so fun. And also you can change your mind a little. Change is a little bit easier for you. If you find that in life change is not easy for you and you're a 5, then we have to talk, because you were here to be the reed in the wind and have a blast. So everyone here is, look at this. Dawn almost drowned. Jonathan almost drowned in the ocean of Costa Rica, and Deborah almost drowned. Stay away from water. My whole entire, this is my, I should have a banner at the bottom saying, stay out of the water. Wow, that's interesting. And all of you are very, very accomplished. Wonder if there's a connection there. Let me go with Kim. Year 7, life path 3. So with that combination, again, creativity. But if you wanted to create something on a spiritual level, in the higher octaves, you'd be really good at that. And again, creatively putting yourself into different situations. That's what the 3 does, because you're always thinking about other things, how to make a better mousetrap. And this is the year 7 to do that in, because that gives you that extra intuition. If, for instance, anybody with a 7 personal year, if you're laying on the couch and it's Saturday night and you think, gosh, I really feel like going out, but I'm too lazy, go out. If you are interested in finding a partner, but you're just too tired after work to go out with the crowd for a drink, go out with the crowd, that type of thing. So that's where you want to keep putting yourself in new situations, because life is going to synchronize up really easy for you. So Jonathan, we're back. My co-host. Personal year is your birthday, which is your month and day, plus this year's number. Yes, this year's number. 2023 is 2 plus 0. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 equals 7. So next year, you'll be adding up 8. So, but now that you know what your personal year is this year, so Kim, your personal year is 7. So next year, your year is going to be 8. So let me go back to Kim. So if you were creatively putting together something in your mind, you have an impulse to create anything, write a book, do a video course. I don't care what you create, doesn't really matter. As long as you create, it will be in alignment. Make sure you create what your heart wants to create, not what you think the consumers will buy. It's very important to do that. Do what your heart's desire. And then next year, which is your 4 personal year, 2024, that's when you bring it down and put it into action. So if you decided to, I don't know, write a book, let's say write a book, you get the book down, because it's like you're going to be downloaded the whole book from Spirit with this combination. And then next year is when you write the front page, do the back cover, have the photo shoot, get the disclaimer and the ISBN number, and you publish, you do all that kind of work early next year, but it will be successful for sure. Julie, life path 8, master a manifester. You can manifest really fast. Now, I have met some impoverished 8 life paths, but they're very rare. They have to make poor choices over and over and over again, because the avenue of creating, manifesting, is just open to you. So if you're having trouble manifesting and you're at life path 8, then you're thinking about other people. In other words, you may be thinking, I'm not saying this is you, but just you may be thinking, I want to buy a house, but I'd much rather do it with my boyfriend, and he hasn't asked me to marry him yet. You see what I'm saying? So you can you have the money to buy the house, but you want to make sure he's on board, that kind of thing. I'm just making that story up. I'm not saying that's you, but it's a good example of waiting. Well, I have money now to go ahead and purchase something, but let me think about this guy and then go with what he's going with. That's not going to fly for you very well. That'll make it hard, a hard life. Let me see. So Jonathan added it up funny. He's got a 5 personal year. That means 5 personal years means life is going to make the decisions for you. That is not a bad thing. Everyone says, oh no, something's going to happen out of the blue that I don't expect. Well, yeah, but your lesson for a 5 personal year, Jonathan, and anyone else with a 5 personal year, boy, this is what happened to me last year. If you miss the flight, oh well, literally, oh well. Now you're an 11, so that oh well might be easier than an 8 from who we just read, like Kim, right? Kim was an 8. See, an 8 life path having a 5 personal year can be a little rough because they want everything hammered down, but an 11 can give or take situation. So the 5 years not so bad for you. But I have had clients where I'd add up the number. Hi, what's your name and number? And we'll get your numbers done. And I do their numbers and I see they're in a 5 personal year. And I'm prepared. I'm prepared for this whining and tragedy. Oh, the life has changed and I don't like it kind of thing. But oh, this one woman, there's several people. I got invited to do a TED talk. She got to the top of her game unexpectedly. These are all unexpected things. So it's pretty fun. Flex says, thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Jonathan, for being my co-host. I appreciate you. So let's go with the Life Path 7, personal year 2. Now, personal year 2s. This is all my experience because I take numerology and I read up on it. This was years ago. I thought it was cool. And then I started through all my readings from people I don't know. I started vetting all those numbers. So I'm on this one platform where I'm over 10,000 readings, and every one of those readings I've vetted with the theory of numerology. So my experience with the 2 personal year might be a little different than others, but it has been my experience that in relationships, because the 2 personal year teaches you about relationships. And you would automatically think if you were single, oh, that means you're going to meet someone. And it's probably true. You will meet new people. It's all about collaboration. But the lesson of a 2 personal year is to communicate differently than your normal. So you go into situations, and in a situation, see, you're a 7 life path, you're automatically kind of a quiet person, thoughtful, kind of quiet. So this might not pertain to you, but let's say, well, it might actually. Let's say you're in a 2 personal year. This might go just fine. You're at work scenario, and something is being done that you do not like. In fact, it rubs against you because you're a life path 7. And that means you have to stay aligned and stay true to who you are at soul level all the time. This is the year, instead of just saying, well, I'll get used to it. This is the year where you speak up. Say, you know what? I don't like what you did. And this is why. And so some of the words you might use might feel a little different, but that's good because that's what's going to prosper you. So the 2 personal year, when you're moving forward with that, understand that collaborations will be plentiful. Whether you're looking for a job or a mate, or if you want a project, it doesn't matter. You're going to have a lot of opportunities for that, but you may have to alter your way of communicating. and allowing for someone else to communicate. So Dawn, so personal year is 22. So but you're 22 year. So the master numbers, the double digits, the 11, 22, 33, all reduce down to a single digit when you're talking about your personal year. So, so it'll add up to 22, but then in your personal lessons, you reduce it to a 4. And again, the 4 is when you do work and you're not getting a lot of applause, let's say. In fact, that's DeSantis's big thing coming up. And it already started. But so DeSantis is a 3 life path. Ron DeSantis of Florida is a 3 life path, having a 3 personal year. Remember, I told you it's all about creativity, and he's doing that, right? He's got all these ideas, and he's just coming out and speaking these ideas. Well, what life is blessing him with is an audience right in front of him to applaud his ideas. See, you have to create in a 3 personal year, just have to. And the life supports that by, like I said, giving you an audience, giving you applause, encouraging to do more. But it doesn't tell you what to create. Life, we make our own choices. So someone in a 3 personal year who wants to do self-awareness, write a self-help book, write a program, stuff like that's creative. And someone like Ron DeSantis who wants to make sure nobody lives in his state unless they're white and Christian, that's an idea. That's creative. Yeah. But the thing is, here's the trouble. When he gets closer to September, October, the applause that is feeding him, instead of his creative, truly believing in his creative expression, and that applause is going to go away. Because in a 4 personal year, it's just that you do work and you have to have so much faith in what you have created that it carries you through the crossing the T's, dotting the I year. You see what I'm saying? So it's, but anyway, for him, it's going to be miserable. He's going to say things that are just outrageous because that's how he got his food, his applause, and he's not going to have it anymore. It's like he'll say, okay, the next, I don't like transgender applause, and I don't like this or that applause, all those ridiculous things. And then closer to the end of the year, he's going to say something like, you can only eat fish on Friday. No applause, right? So don't worry. Life has its own way of shaking things out. That is for sure. Not forwarding. Oh, this Flack, let me see. Did you mean not looking forward to next year because you'll be a 9? Let me tell you about 9s. If you know the secret about a 9 personal year, you're going to have the best year ever. So it is the year to give up what just doesn't work. So just let me take you on a little carpet ride, magic carpet ride. I'll go back as far as 7, your 7 personal year. You align to what you feel is true and you walk your talk. The 8 personal year, you bring it down to whatever you learned up here, you bring it down to the earth to manifest for yourself and others. That's the 8 personal year. The 9 personal year is when you give up what just doesn't work out of that combination, you see, because you're going to create stuff that needs to just go away. And so if you hold on to things that you need to give up, you're going to be in trouble for the next 9-year cycle. Not the whole 9-year cycle. You can have enlightenment at any moment, be visited by 3 ghosts on Christmas at any moment, and have a new perspective. But if I can just be so bold as to say one thing to help you, 2 things to help you, anybody with a 9. So The blessing you get for a 9 personal year is that life makes what you're supposed to give up really cray-cray. It'll get ridiculous. Like that low down cheating daddy you've loved for years, it'll get that you're supposed to give up. It'll get weird. It'll get so weird that you don't even recognize yourself inside that situation. The minute you don't recognize yourself inside of a situation, that means you're not supposed to be there. So all you have to do, Fleck, is to align to your own feelings about any situation. It'll be easy peasy. That's the first bit of information. Second bit of information is some advice my friend Roberta told me, because I have a hard time giving things up because I might need it later, right? So I have collections of crystals and this and that. And, but when I go to her house, it always looks so nice and sparse and beautiful. And I say, how do you do it? She says, because everything's a hammer. That was her lesson for me. Everything's a hammer. Your car is not your beloved that took you to different states in the year 2020. It's a hammer. Sell it. Give it up. And that has benefited. That little story has benefited me so much because I have been able to just release the down coat that I hung on to once I moved to Southern California, where I never used down coats. So, yeah, it's my down coat became the hammer, just a hammer. And that felt better. I missed what Cynthia was saying. I'll have to go up and see. Oh, this conversation is so fun, isn't it? So, yeah. Thank you. Fleck, you crack me up, girl. So, yes, you will do your 9-year better than Trump, for sure. I'm needing to get rid of some hammers. Yes, Jonathan, absolutely. We all have our hammers we need to get rid of. So let me tell you who else is in a 9 personal year that's you may know. Adam Kinzinger. Now he decided not to run. He gave up what just wasn't working for him when he left the Republic. I don't know if he's left the Republican Party, but he has given up his standing in the Senate. I think it was the Senate. Donald Trump is in a 9 personal year, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole with him and went back, him and Clarence Thomas, because they're in the same personal year. And I went back in the last 9-year cycle, and he was just as bad, but he wasn't president. He gave up his solidarity. He gave up his cover by being president. See, on his last 9-year cycle, he decided, I'm going to give up and I'm going to risk having to be open with all of my dealings because I want to be president. So that's what he gave up. Now in this 9-year cycle is a perfect example. This 9-year cycle, he has to give up his freedom. Let's hope. Jared Kushner. Now, Linda G was saying that Jared had going to run into trouble, but Jared is one of those ninja characters that stay around, behind the scenes. But he is in a 9 personal year. Now, they can be very successful. I'm reading off people's life that really changed a lot, but you get hints. Life does not keep you in shadow of what you need to give up. They give you hints. You just have to be brave enough to act on it. Now, Paul Gosar, where did he come from? Where did he come from? And then Pete Buttigieg. is a 9 personal year. Now, what I believe, how Pete will manifest his personal year is giving up. I think he was a little apprehensive, even though he was running for presidency. He was apprehensive of taking on the his position, but he's finding his voice. And so I think he's giving up this hesitation of his position and is really going to own it. What's this now, Jonathan? I probably am close to 600 decks. Yes, my brother in Clutter, my Hammer brother, because of the amount that I've received to review. That's right. So what you do, Jonathan, is on your show, you hold one up and says, and somebody's going to win this deck, you see. And then when you send it media mail. And then it's there. But I think you live in Hawaii, so I don't know. Deborah Thornton, go Pete. Yes, that's true. When you hammer some of them, I'll take a few. Hey, Flex wants some. See, this is the fun part, is if we were in a Zoom meeting, you could just jibber jabber between yourself. I like the fact, I like the idea of having a YouTube channel and telling people what I know, because what I know has made my life so much easier. Oh my God, I've got a perfect life. And so, and it's because I've studied some of these modalities. And of course, I've done all the readings. So I've been a voyeur, to other people's experiences. And I thought a YouTube channel was great. And then I admired Linda G, because she is so darn casual. I mean, she'd be doing her, makeup my makeup is off. So she'll look into the camera or look into her computer and do her makeup. I love that. And then she talks calmly and interestingly and funny. And I want to aspire to be that casual, they be that comfortable. And this audience here that I'm seeing in the chat is all that in a bag of chips for sure, because I really appreciate all of you and welcoming me into the world of social media. And I'm just looking over the conversation here if I lost someone. So anyway, what I'm thinking about doing is people who want to know what I know about numerology, I think I want to set up a Zoom thing like through Patreon, so you could just pop in, pop out. And then also the tarot, because I have the tarot card. Yes, Linda G. Linda G is great. That's for sure. I got to go on her show, but then my mic gave out. Oh, Deborah, you think I look comfortable? Let's say I would like to be like Linda G and feel comfortable in front of the camera. That's what I'd like. Cynthia, you love Lenormand. I like Lenormand cards as well, except the tableau has to be so big. If from what I understand, I have studied them a little bit, of course, but the tableau or the throw has to be quite big. Oh, you did? You won a free reading with Linda G and she was spot on? I bet. So now I was going to talk about Jonathan's creative parts, but he should do that on his own show. See, I get too casual. But so as soon as I learn how to run a little contest, I'm just going to put this one up. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate you. As soon as I can figure out how to run a little contest, I'm going to be doing some free readings, and especially like the soul alignment and soul awareness and realignment. That's It's one of my signature things. It's a long reading. It takes me at least 2 hours to prepare the report and then at least an hour and a half to give it. So it's pretty fun. Oh, Cynthia, I'm going to put all these up. Say, yes, ma'am, spot on. Oh, okay, you're doing a great. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Well, come on back and see me sweat for my first interview with Steven Weber. He wrote Between Here and There, a lot of death experiences. They see heaven, and Steven didn't see heaven as much. He saw a world that we don't talk about very much, but it's an amazing world. So it's something I got a lot out of the book and his story. So I hope you do too. So that's going to be at 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern time. So, oh, thank you, Jonathan. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I'm going to put all those kudos up. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you all. I think what I'll do is end the broadcast and run my little music, because I learned how to do that. I learned how to do music at the end of a broadcast. I adore you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you maybe at 1. I really appreciate all your support. God bless you all.